make it. Hi everyone, my name is Anne Lloyd and we're going to do a 45-minute practice today in 2 sessions. So in our first session, we're just going to arrive given our busy days or busy mornings. So you can do this seated or you can do this lying down, whatever's comfortable. And just closing your eyes or lowering your gaze, whatever is comfortable. And bringing your awareness down to your feet on the floor and just sensing that connection to the earth beneath your feet. And this is a good way just to help us get grounded by bringing our awareness to the body and down to the sensation of the soles of our feet in contact with the earth beneath us. And just turning your attention towards the breath, wherever the breath settles in the body. So quite often during the day, we're so in our head that our focus of awareness isn't even on the breath. So we're just turning our attention towards each breath as we breathe in. And as we breathe out. So just checking in with ourselves as to our state in this moment. So our state of mind or our state of how we're feeling. So maybe we're tired or we're out of sorts, we're not feeling very grounded or anchored or busy. So no judgments, just bringing awareness to how you are in this moment. And now bringing your awareness, we're going to do a count of breaths. And it's just a lovely way of getting us out of our head and into the body. So it's going to be a round of 4. So we breathe in for 4, we pause for 4, we exhale for 4, and then we pause for 4. So it's a bit like a box. So on the next inhale, breathing in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, holding for 4, 3, 2, 1, exhaling through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1, pausing for 4, 3, 2, 1, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, pausing for 4, 3, 2, 1, exhaling through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1, breathing in for pausing for 4, 3, 2, 1, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, pausing for 4, 3, 2, 1, exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1, pausing for 4, 3, 2, 1, and one more round, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, pausing for 4, 3, 2, 1, exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1, and pausing for 4, 3, 2, 1. And just letting that breath settle naturally in the body. So turning your attention away from the busyness of the day to everything that you have to do after this, to perhaps something that is on your mind, you're ruminating, or it could be a strong feeling or sensation. And imagine just all of that floating away in the background as you turn your attention towards the breath, resting gently on the breath, really sensing the breath in the body as you breathe in. And as you breathe out. So on every exhale, just imagine that you're sinking down further into the body as every part, every ounce, every muscle, every fiber of the body becomes a bit more relaxed with the exhale. And anytime the mind wanders away from the breath, just bringing your attention back to resting on that breath once more as you take another breath in and begin this practice again. So just noticing where the sensation of the breath is the most obvious. Can you really sense the breath in the chest, maybe the diaphragm, or perhaps deep in the abdomen? So resting your attention with each inhale and each exhale. And bringing awareness as we sit here together in this circle of the quality of the breath. So is the breath long and smooth? Is it short or restricted in any way? Does it feel like you're taking small sips of air? Is the exhale longer than the inhale or vice versa? And not needing to change the breath in any way, just allowing the breath to be as it is in this moment. And you may notice that the mind is really busy today, and if that's how it is, that's okay. Just allowing the busyness of the mind to do its thing, but anytime you notice that you're engaged in thoughts, bringing your attention back to resting on the breath once more as you take another inhale and begin again. So I like to pepper my day with certain intentions, and if you choose to, there's an intention that you can just repeat quietly just a couple of times or 3 times to yourself in your mind's eye. I intend to be grounded and in my body. I intend to be grounded and in my body. I intend to be grounded and in my body. And just as you do that, sensing your feet on the floor once more. And then bringing your awareness back to resting on the breath. And with every exhale, just allowing the breath to enable a deeper sense of relaxation in the body. As if you're sinking down into the body with every exhale. The shoulders relax. Your thighs relax with the exhale. Your arms and hands and fingers relax. The forehead relaxes on the exhale. It's as if by relaxing, you're letting everything go. There is nothing else to do other than just be with the breath in this moment. The breath is center stage of your awareness. And anytime the mind wanders, just noticing where the mind has gone to. What is present on the mind? And then always with kindness. It's not an opportunity to beat yourself up. Just bringing your attention back to resting on the breath once more. Letting everything go. Just imagine that everything else is falling away and there is just you, this moment, and the breath. And as we come to close our first practice together, bringing your awareness back to resting on your feet and sensing that connection to the floor, to the earth beneath you. And moving your attention up from the feet to every part of the body that is in contact with the floor or the chair. So from the soles of your feet to the backs of the lower legs, the back of the knees, the backs of the thighs, any part of the body in contact with the floor or the chair, bringing awareness to the buttocks, the sacrum, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, the back of the head. And now your hands and your arms resting on your thighs or a cushion or on the floor. And gently, in your own time, just releasing this first practice and opening your eyes. So today's topic is on resistance, and you may have seen it in an email that I sent out to everyone today about what resistance is and how it can really get in the way between creating something that we really want and where we are in relation to what we want. And it's a really interesting thing to look at because quite often when we're wanting to create something, especially if it's something quite different and new, we just step into the how. We get locked into the steps, but I don't know how. How am I going to do it, given where I am in relation to it? And typically the how can take care of itself, but what we don't spend enough time on is that resistance. So your resistance could show up as an obstacle. It could be a self-limiting belief. It could be procrastination. It could be, well, I can't get stuck into my work until the house is tidy. So we sort of wait for the conditions are right before we sort of start that thing. You may be risk adverse and like the idea of safety. If you don't dip your toe in, then there's no risk of something going wrong. So noticing in your life where resistance shows up and just looking at something really small, because quite often there's a pattern. Resistance could be self-sabotage. So you do something really well and it's been successful, and then you go, okay, well, I did that, and then you move on to something else at the risk of doing it again in case it doesn't work or it's not as good as the first time, or the potential of something going wrong. So you don't start, or you don't start again. And resistance is really, really key to manifesting the things that you want to in your life. And that resistance can also be, things from childhood, learned behavior and patterns and old stories we tell ourselves over and over and over again. And the thing is with resistance is, first of all, is identifying it. And then looking, because there's often perhaps more than just one bit of resistance when you want to create something. So looking at all the obstacles, all the resistance that arises for you in relation to creating what you want to create. And then looking at that and going, okay, well, what are the ones that I can deal with? And quite often you can do things about resistance. Sometimes it's just, I'm not picking up the phone call and making an introduction. I can do that. I can do that. It's just changing my behavior. It's the beliefs, the self beliefs that are the tricky ones, and that's where there are ways and means of overcoming and upgrading your beliefs, especially the self-limiting beliefs, because they are held in the subconscious. And those are the curly ones that really hold us back from creating. So if you want to create, it's like looking at the resistance that comes up in your life and then doing something about that resistance. And when it comes to upgrading and changing your beliefs, then it's seeking that support. So in our next practice, we're just going to ask the question when we create a bit of stillness about what resistance shows up in our life. You know, what is a current resistant theme that arises just in your day-to-day or your week-to-week that you notice? So let's begin our second practice. And you can lie down, you can stay seated, whatever's comfortable. And just closing your eyes or lowering your gaze. And just bring awareness to the breath and the body once more. So turning your attention to the safe harbor of the breath and the body. And seeing if you can really take that breath deep down in the abdomen. So it helps if you want to place your hand against the abdomen, because you can really sense the breath and it just takes your focus down there. So noticing as we inhale how the belly, the abdomen really extends and pushes against the clothing. The diaphragm moves down. And then on the exhale, the abdomen is released and the diaphragm moves back up. So we're really narrowing our focus with the breath in the abdomen. And if you've ever watched babies, they really know how to take beautiful big belly breaths. Their belly is expanded on the inhale. And how the belly is released on the exhale. So we're really bringing a focus of awareness to the breath in the abdomen. Sensing the breath here. And then if the mind wanders, just noticing where the mind has gone to, and then bringing your attention back to resting on the breath in the abdomen. And seeing if you can start the breath in the abdomen. So the breath is started in the abdomen, comes up to the diaphragm and then to the chest, and then is released. So we're playing a little bit with the breath. Breathing in through the abdomen, then sensing the breath in the diaphragm and the chest. And then just gently releasing the breath. And on the exhale, just loosening the shoulders, letting everything go. Now just letting the awareness go from the abdomen and allowing the breath just to settle wherever it naturally wants to settle within the body. Creating a sense of spaciousness around every inhale and every exhale. So you're observing the breath rather than being the breath. Sensing the breath. And perhaps noticing that noises can be as distracting as thoughts. So noises around us and how they take our mind away from the breath. And then before we know it, we're lost in thought. So if this is the case, just bringing your attention back and beginning another inhale. And as you rest your attention on the breath, just asking yourself, what is it that you're resisting in this moment? What is it that you're resisting in your life? How does resistance show up for you? So you may notice that resistance shows up a particular way time and time again. Or perhaps there's something that you want in your life and it's not happening. So noticing the resistance or the obstacle, or whether it's state of being, a thought, a belief, a pattern of behavior, an old story, because we're good at stories. So just asking yourself the question and just allowing the answer to bubble up in amongst the stillness. What am I resisting? What does resistance look like to me when I create or try to create something I want? What gets in the way? And then just when you're ready, just bringing your attention back to resting on the breath once more and just allowing that answer, that resistance, just to be there. But you're turning your attention towards the breath once more and breathing in, breathing out. And you may notice a bit of noise in my background, whether it's the plane overhead or the birds in the background, and noticing perhaps that we can't control the external, but we can take care of the internal. So it's about finding that place and sense of stillness amongst all this chaos around us, the noise of the world. And it's really about what we choose to place our focus on. So just turning our attention towards the breath is a bit like coming home. That anchor of home, that safe harbor that we call home, regardless of what is happening around us, the environment out there, knowing that we can always come back to that safe harbor, that place and sense of stillness in the body, connected with the breath, grounded, connected to the earth and in our body. So rather than thinking about the breath, you're sensing the breath, being the witness of every inhale and every exhale. Perhaps noticing the gentle rise and fall of the chest, the rise and fall of the shoulders with every inhale and exhale. The expansion of the abdomen on the inhale. Perhaps even the breath in the back of the rib cage. So as we've been sitting here for a little while, taking your attention from the breath and moving that awareness around the body and just stopping at any place in the body where you sense a sensation, whether it's a coolness or tingling or discomfort, tightness. So taking your breath there and exploring that sensation with the breath. It's as if you breathe in and out through that sensation, not needing to change it, but just exploring it with the breath. And when you're ready, moving on to another part of the body. Bringing awareness to any sensations, strong or subtle, in the body, and exploring that with the breath. And just keep moving around the body with the breath, stopping at any place within the body and exploring that with the breath. And when you feel complete, moving your attention back to resting on the breath once more. That safe harbor in the body. So if the mind is lost in thought, just noticing where the mind has gone to. Quite often we can be engaged in a thought for some time before we even notice we're in a thought. So there's an opportunity to bring your attention back to resting on the breath and beginning this practice again with an inhale. And now bringing awareness to the quality of the breath. Just sensing, being curious if there is a difference to the quality of the breath from when you first began this practice. Maybe the breath is a bit smoother, more relaxed. Maybe it isn't, maybe it's the same. So whatever your experience is your experience. There's no need to try and change it or to make the breath be a certain way. It's just what is. And as we come to close this practice together, now just extending that breath throughout the entire body, from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head, as if the entire body is breathing. And now using your imagination to bring, with an inhale, your breath in through the soles of your feet and up through the body. And then out through the crown of the head. Then breathing in from above the crown of the head and through the crown, through the body. And then out through the soles of the feet into the earth. Breathing in through the earth, through the soles of your feet, through the body. Then out through the crown of the head. Breathing in above the crown of the head, through the crown, through the body, and then out through the soles of the feet. And just now completing this practice by bringing to your mind's eye 3 things that you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. It could be the blue sky. So bringing to your mind's eye 3 things that you're grateful for. And just bathe in that gratefulness, that appreciation, hanging on to that appreciation before your mind wanders into something else. So just holding that appreciation, that feeling of gratitude that that gives you. And gently, in your own time, releasing this practice and opening your eyes.